Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show is back in the building. You enjoying yourself? Go ahead, get it in.
That's right there. That's grown folk music right there. That's that music from back when your mama and your daddy was together. Woo! Hey! Oh yeah! You can't wear no sneakers and listen to this. You need grown folk, grown ass man shoes. You can't play no basketball in.
And he eating.
Oh yeah! Pull up in front of the girl house in my jet black Jag with the top down, my straw hat on, piece of straw in my
Take
mouth.
it to the bridge.
Come on, girl.
Come on.
You and I must love one another. We must get together.
Yeah.
Let's make some babies or just practice.
Practice. Yes.
Practice making babies. Me and you to the music you can hear. Let's enjoy the view. Let's drive up to the top of the mountain and let's drink from your fountain. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, shit.
Gotta go too far?
Too far.
Too much?
Yes.
Not at all, brother.
No, I got all this
That's
stuff to
grown
promote.
man. That's grown man.
Now let me promote all of this now. He's just happy he's here on time. So this is what happens when he's here on time.
Right? That's where all this energy came from. Ooh, it's 11 and I'm here.
So really quickly, July 24th, 4 days, the book is delivered to my crib. I will be mailing out copies for all of those pre-orders. Man, I'm so excited about this. Oh, here we go. Bam. Look at that. Yeah, the relationship dismount pimp. Look at that there. Huh?
That's the yogurty goodness.
Man, I'm so excited about this work, man.
As you should be.
It will be out for everybody. I'm going to be mailing them out. Just yeoman. Just packing, writing, signing. If you want a copy, a physical copy, go to imzowilliams.com right now and pre-order yours. In 4 days, they're delivered to the crib. The next step, if you can't wait 4 days, we need those Amazon.com numbers to stay up. We were number one. We're not number one no more. We're number 9 right now. We were number 1 in the divorce category. I was really excited about that. Go there, Kindle. That's only $10. Go get your copy right now. And continue. I want to say thank you to everybody who has written a review. We've got 19 reviews so far. And of the 19, 18 are 5-star reviews.
Oh, bravo.
So I appreciate everybody who has participated in that movement. Yeah! Please continue to support the Relationship Dismount. It's an incredible work.
Can you say New York Times bestseller?
New York Times bestseller. That's what I'm aiming for. And I know I didn't do it all by myself. We had a lot of help. I had a team of women, whether it's Stephanie, Carolyn, Janine, Joy, Karen, Carolyn, Lynn. I had a team of women. Women don't fuck around when they believe in something. So they got behind it. They made sure it is what it is today.
So they saw you making love to your purpose.
They saw me fuck the shit out this purpose. They said,
purpose,
oh,
they
damn.
jumped in and got this positivity orgy working.
This man right here. So please continue to support the Relationship Dismount. Go to Amazon.com. Get your Kindle version now. On the 25th, these will be delivered to me, and I will be mailing them out ASAP. Bobby Glanton, real men don't play.
Gotta get it.
Hey, if you go on to Amazon.com to Kindle, you go on that Kindle look. This is one of the books that are, purchased.
Page turner.
They'll show the people who bought your books though also bought Bobby's book. So continue to support Bobby. Bobby brought in somebody as well, and Veronica's calling in. Let's get her in too. There it is. Body Intelligence.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Body Intelligence by Dr. Romeo Brooks, PhD. This brother is right in Inglewood, right? Please get Body Intelligence. Very smart guy, holistic guy, knows a lot about health and nutrition, knows what to do. Please, I talked to this brother before and his wife. They serious about getting that body in alignment with spirit and with nutrition. Very important book to have. Body Intelligence. Also, Weed Juice. Come on now. You go to Weed Juice, he's going to give you a 20% discount. That's what's up. I think it's 20%. I'm just throwing shit out there. Type in So What Show as your code, or is it We Love? No, it's We Live, We Love, We Juice, right? And remember, We Juice is spelled O-U-I. We love, we live, we juice. We live, we love, we juice. It's one of them. Jesus. Support the brother at WeJuice.com. Also, Kobe Kaya, this energy drink, coffee, vitamin supplement is crack. You drink this, you bouncing off the walls. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I got to paint this house tonight.
This evening. Anyway, KobeKaya.com. Please go there and continue to support. Because apparently they're just going to keep sending cases. I don't even have this dude's number.
Oh, what?
Every time I walk in here, there's a new case. I said, well, Jesus, I guess we in business. Jesus Christ.
You can slide some of those. That's right.
Anyway, Elephant. Y'all got to support Elephant, man.
Yeah.
Please continue to work with this brother.
The dope gear.
If you type in Zoe Williams or Zoe What Show, you get 20% off your order. Please support this brother. Cash Mob Monday. Cash Mob all of these businesses, man. It's important. This sister right here. The Resume Guru. The ResumeGuru.net. This sister is going to get you a job. She going to help you. No. There's a lot of people out there that just don't know how to interface with the system and present themselves correctly. She's going to show you how to build your resume. She's going to show you how to build, your image, how to go in there, play the part, get the gig. This is a life skills website. And a lot of motherfuckers lack life skills. That's what this show is about.
I believe you called somebody a failure at life once.
I did, Jesus. Wow. Thank you. Also, blackmastery.com. Veronica Conway. Veronica, do you have something you have to promote here?
Yes, blackmastery.com, of course. And, of course, we're beginning yet another business boot camp because we like making money around here. So if you want to get your business on fire and real profitable real fast, you can hit me at veronicaconway.com.
Wow. Hey, we doing big things here. Please go to Amazon.com. Purchase the relationship dismount on Kindle, and please go to my website, IamZoeWilliams.com. I got you, Kevin. We got time. Hold on.
Did I say something?
IamZoeWilliams.com. Pre-order your copy of the relationship dismount. Kevin, body, booty, fight, martial arts, ass kicking camp. What is it called?
Called Kill Zoe after the show. Booty Boxing, the home system that's free for Zoe What listeners. Go to udemy.com, udemy.com/booty boxing, and type in the promo code Zoe What Show.
Booty box.
No, this dude, he's the real deal. I've been boxing with him for the past month and a half, and he's no joke.
Oh, yeah.
You got better, too.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
A wolf can smell another wolf. I know. I
was rusty, but once I started figuring it out, I was like, okay, here we go. I'm back in the game.
Oh, you back in it?
A little bit. I'm out of shape, though.
Okay.
I'm really out of shape.
You're grown. That's why.
You said you're grown.
No, but hey, I want you guys to continue to support all of these businesses, all of these products. It's important that we do that. And hey, that's it. When I come back, the topic is crazy as hell today. But we gotta have this discussion.
You got to do it.
All right. So when we come back, topic: Zoe What Morning, T Radio V, Radio NTV. We'll be back in 2.2. Deuces.
Melanin theory is a pseudoscience theory of black racial superiority, based on the physical properties of melanin, a natural polymer and organic semiconductor. In humans, melanin is the primary determinant of skin color. People whose ancestors lived for long periods in the regions of the globe near the equator generally have larger quantities of melanin in their skins. Melanin theorists assert that the possession of greater quantities of melanin gives black people inherent superiority. Conversely, its lack demonstrates the alleged inhumanity and inferiority of white people.
This evening we're going to talk about something called melanin. It's what everyone is concerned about in the world. It's what they have a meeting about every 3 to 5 years. Germany, Italy, France, the U.S., they meet every 3 to 5 years and have a melanin convention and discuss the latest research in melanin. They have never invited a black scientist to that meeting in history. So we have had our own melanin conferences where we discuss this information involving melanin. Melanin is commonly associated with the pigment that causes your skin to be brown. So we figure that that's what melanin is about. But it's a little more than just the pigment that makes your skin brown. It's what we call a chemical key to life. The more melanin you have, the more civilized you are. The more melanin you have, the more psychic you are. The more melanin you have, the more information your brain can store. The more melanin you have, the faster the nerve transmissions are. The more melanin you have, the more sound you absorb in your ear, so you hear the full range of sound. No other race can do that. The more melanin you have, the more color you can absorb in your eyes. That's why your eyes are brown. You actually see the full color. You see this color, where white folks see a paler tan, because the more melanin you have, the more you can see what God has meant for you to see.
Talking about something that is the basis. It's actually one of the bases you hear all the time, carbon. We are carbon-based beings. Well, that's what melanin is, carbon. Forms of earth melanin is oil, crude oil. You see what I'm saying? It is the same thing that you hear of in the Bible of the anointed one. Or what it means, the anointed one, it means anointed by olive oil, but olives are both black and green.
That's right.
Well, Osiris is known as God of the perfect black, but he's also known as the green god. You see what I'm saying? Among Pan and other different, El Kedar is the green one in Islam. But they always talk about the green and the black. So these are ancient mythological mysteries, just alluding to this mysterious substance that is not only permeates everything, but it will be the outcome of everything else.
And humans dispersed not once but twice, major moves outside of our equatorial homeland from Africa into other parts of the old world and most recently into the new world. When humans dispersed into these latitudes, what did they face? Well, conditions were significantly colder, but they were also less intense with respect to the ultraviolet regime. So if we're somewhere in the northern hemisphere, look at what's happening to the ultraviolet radiation. We're still getting a dose of UVA, but all of the UVB, or nearly all of it, is dissipated through the thickness of the atmosphere. In the winter, when you are skiing in the Alps, you may experience ultraviolet radiation, but it's all UVA, and significantly, that UVA has no ability to make vitamin D in your skin. So people inhabiting northern hemispheric environments were bereft of the potential to make vitamin D in their skin for most of the year. This had tremendous consequences for the evolution of human skin pigmentation, because what happened, in order to ensure health and well-being, these lineages of people dispersing into the northern hemisphere lost their pigmentation. There was natural selection for the evolution of lightly pigmented skin.
Background. Let's talk about melanin inside chaga and melanin inside the body. So it absorbs thousands of times more electromagnetic radiation actually than chlorophyll does, and chlorophyll is what we need to make proteins and sugars, especially sugars in the body. It exists in many other tissues, as I mentioned. It's actually a very important molecule in any woman who's having a baby, because the fetus has all this melanin in it, as I'll show you. Okay? And it's thought to be, by some people, a master molecule that actually steers how the body communicates. For example, Frank Barr, a scientist, wrote a whole article, a whole issue of a journal called Medical Hypothesis, saying, you know, melanin is such a special molecule and it's found in the babies. It may have a major role in steering things in the body, in the whole regulatory system. Melanin's role in embryological organization, that's in the baby's organization, and tissue repair and tissue regeneration, may be connected to the major role that it plays to balance the body, that's called homeostasis, in the autonomic, neuroendocrine, and immunological system. So in other words, melanin may play a much bigger role than just absorbing all this radiation, and when you get it into your body, it actually has a major effect on your immune system. Here's a picture of a baby at 35 days of pregnancy, and this is the eye of an embryo inside a mother. It's a very tiny little thing. Notice that the eye is pure melanin. That's an amazing picture, isn't it? To see all this melanin is inside, and when the embryo first forms, there is what's called the dark streak. It's all melanin. Okay, here's an example of a plant. It's an eggplant that has melanin in it, and a genetically changed one that is no melanin in it. Notice the size of the two difference. I mean, this is an indirect indication that melanin, you know, directly can transduce energy.
So while you're studying the Real Housewives of common motherfuckers, they studying us.
Yep.
So this brings us to today's topic. Got melanin? God's sunscreen? That's today's topic. Got melanin, God's sunscreen, a deeper look into the meaning and origin of skin color. Does it matter? We live in a colorblind society now, where it doesn't matter. We're all one, we're humans, it's love, it's kumbaya.
What power?
Right, right.
Exactly.
I'm asking these questions because I think it's important to know. What is melanin? Right? How is melanin produced in the body? Why is it significant? Why are they holding conferences? The brother in the first video said Europeans are holding melanin conferences and not one melanated scientist is there during these conferences. What is that about? What, and how come our folk, the folk that are melanated, A, out of the loop, and then B, when they get put in the loop, C, don't give two shakes of a fat rat's ass about being in that loop? Kind of bothers me to, you know, something's happening.
26s and Jordans, nigga. 26s and Jordans.
You feel me?
That's what's on my mind.
Do Caucasian people have melanin? What are the physical/spiritual attributes of melanin? Are blacks superior because of the melanin content in their being? If the black eggplant is, didn't they used to call brothers eggplants?
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, I just thought I'd throw that.
Eggplant. Hey.
Hey, you fucking mullion.
Hey, shine my shoes.
I'm just saying. Were our ancestors aware of melanin and its physical and spiritual properties and attributes? And if they were aware, why do we somehow not give two shakes of a fat rat's ass about it today? I mean, when you talk to these kids, they're totally unaware of the significance of your skin color.
That's
A lot of them are really just on some old light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin, light skin. I mean, really, really, really locked into that, right?
Is that why I've never seen a dark-skinned dude lose a fight to a light-skinned dude? I'm just talking about what I've seen. I've never. If I see a dark-skinned dude and a light-skinned dude getting ready to fight, I got 50 on the dark-skinned dude.
You could lose your money though.
It hasn't happened yet, but I believe that.
You can lose your money now.
It's some ass whooping lights.
It's some ass whooping night. I'm telling you now.
Oh, speaking of that, shout out to Sinbad.
I'm just telling you, it's some ass whooping out there for you.
Roy Jones Jr. ain't dark skinned.
See, this is how niggas get their ass whooped. You know, the motherfucking stereotype will get your ass beat.
Is that how a big
you going? Oh, I'm gonna whoop his ass. Get him off me.
In the words of my Uncle Clifford, you're going to see what happens when a big bat hits a wood chipper.
I'm just telling you. So, you know, it's a lot of ideas out there that poison our community, and this is the whole crux of the show. It's going to tie into my final thought, too. But I really want to know the significance and the importance of melanin. Of course, my team in the building, we got Kevin Barringer. He is a Phoenix Dragon Maw. He is here with a bunch of books and information and resources on the topic. Of course, OG Bobby Glanton-Smith, author of Real Men Don't Play. Got to go get that. Of course, comedian, actor, all-around fool extraordinaire on the intellectual side of the game. Geoff Brown in the building.
Thank you.
Wow. And on the line, I'm hearing that my brother, Dr. Phil Valentine, is in the building.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. And, of course, Veronica Conway, transformational life coach. So we got a crew to deal with this. I want to start with Brother Phil. Dr. Phil Valentine, can you tell us in a very succinct way, what is melanin and what is its purpose?
He thinking about it.
No, we got him.
He contemplating it. He meditating.
Do we have him? Phil? All right, we'll make sure we get him. I'm going to throw that question over to Kev. Kev, talk to me, man.
Well, melanin is what they call the black substance in the body. It's produced by the pineal gland, and it basically is a protector. The initial thing is a protector from the sun. It helps to block out UV rays so that your skin cells are protected from the sun.
God's sunscreen.
God's sunscreen. That's what it is on the surface. This is what most people in the world know it as. Or actually, not even most people, but people who are up on melanin, they know it as that. But on the deeper level, it's what they call a semiconductor or a superconductor of energy and light, sound, all these different things. And this is why you don't hear anything about this knowledge on mainstream. They're studying us like crazy behind the scenes, but you don't hear anything about that. As a matter of fact, you can't even go on YouTube and type in melanin research and find anything. They'll try to encode it. The code word for melanin, when you try to research it, is called polyacetylene or acetylene black. And even if you look up that, you still will only find maybe a couple of videos that are breaking it down. They're very scientific. So they don't want you to know anything about this type of research. But the whole time they're putting out, like, if you've ever heard of a superhero called Spawn.
Yeah.
Spawn is his suit. Spawn is a superhero who basically died and went to hell, and Satan came back. He made him the leader of his army, and he came back with this super suit that can basically change into anything. Spawn is he's black. The character who plays him is black, but he's also, his whole body is black. His whole suit is black, and it can do anything. All he has to do is think about it, and the suit can change form. It can protect him. It can do anything, literally. And this is what they know, and what they're trying to hide from the rest of us.
And the only other comic book character I know that has those characteristics is Green Lantern.
Now I don't know. The Dark Spider-Man. You ever seen
Dark Spider-Man?
Venom,
yeah.
Venom
with the ugly green.
Venom is Spider-Man who was taken over by melanin. But the funny thing is, the melanin made him angry, which is supposed to be their version of the angry black black person.
That's an interesting twist.
So
Bobby,
I can't even read comic books.
Bobby from another generation. He gonna keep it real.
What the hell?
Bobby, tell us about this skin color issue. Colorism is a big problem in the African American community. So I know you experienced it when you were younger. Do you see any changes, any variances in the way black people view? It's almost like judge the quality of another black person. You know how he just said about he'll put $50 down because he ain't never seen a light-skinned dude win a fight against a dark. Like,
I haven't. I didn't say that.
What has been your experience just through the generations, seeing the difference and the variances? Speak to that.
Well, now that I'm plenty one, I can look back.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Yeah.
July 18th. Bobby,
Oh,
come on, man.
birthday, what?
Happy birthday.
Well, the bar was raised 97 years ago with Nelson Mandela. We share the same birthday.
Yeah.
And today is Frantz Fanon's 90th birthday. The wretched of the earth. And the reason I tie that into this conversation is he said the oppressed tend to take on the worst characteristics of the oppressors. And that plays into this whole discussion of skin color. Back in my youth, it was common to hear the phrase, if you black, get back, if you brown, stick around, and if you light, you're all right.
Wow.
And here we are in 2015 going through that reproduction of that same sickness. And Bill Duke went to Africa a few months ago, the filmmaker Bill Duke, and he was sitting at a dinner table.
Fully melanated.
And the sister who was the wife of the president of the country he was in, I think it was Ghana, and she had on gloves, okay? And he kept noticing that she was hiding her hands, all right? Now, she was light-skinned in the facial area, but the process didn't work out on her hands. Her hands were dark as he was. And he said that the #1 product in Africa, or one of the #1 products, is skin cream, fade cream.
Like Ambien.
Yeah, here we are in 2015, and we still trying to white out. All right?
Wow.
I don't quite understand how we ended up there.
Like Sammy
but
Sosa.
Oh, my goodness.
Sammy
That's
Sosa
a
turned
classic
himself,
example.
yep.
Yeah, you know. So this whole issue of skin color
You look like a
is
lizard
back.
now.
It
It's
is.
back, and it's thriving in a very insidious way.
Right, right. Black is ugly. That has been the definition. Black is ugly. You would think because film is such a powerful medium. We all read the autobiography of Malcolm X, but when it gets put on film, it has a different, you know what I'm saying? It has a different impact because now it's moving pictures, right? So when you see that scene where Denzel, who plays Malcolm X, is reading the dictionary, and he's seeing the definitions. White is pure, black is evil.
Dark.
Right there, you should be like, wow, there's like this war against my thought about me. This war against my thought about me. Right there should be a shift. And then this is why I love finding videos of white folk talking about the shit I talk about, because just like white folk follow the narrative that dark is ugly and light is right, we follow the same narrative regarding what the white man has to say versus what the black man has to say. So a lot of times we looking at black people, our own people, side-eye like, I don't believe shit you say, nigga. But then when the white man comes around and says it, then it's, that's the truth. Yeah. Shit. That's why I love putting these videos of white folk in the secret conferences about your complexion. Yep. We need to do something about this melanin issue. What? You want to know if Tamar and Vince are going to make it? It's fucking mind-boggling. Veronica, would you like to speak on it? And then Veronica's not here. Who do we have? Phil? Phil! Welcome back to the show, brother. Hotep.
How's everyone doing?
Man, we're good, brother. We just talking about the issue of melanin. Why is it so important? What makes it? What distinguishes us from? We have it. They want it. Why do they want it so bad?
Okay, you break it up.
No, we not breaking up.
What is it that distinguishes it?
Yeah,
what you're saying?
I'm saying, why do they want it?
This is our beautiful is how beautiful the brothers there were actually giving me all these inspirations as I was listening to them speak. First of all, it links ions and organic molecules. It forms charge transfer complexes. It's transforming and storing gas, which is fullerene, graphite, and helicoid systems. It assembles molecules, forms electromagnetic fields, giving rise to communication systems between tissue and between tissue and the central nervous system. It's a matrix for chemical evolution. It's sound electricity conductivity. It is a super as well as a semiconductor. It is an intelligence, and everything else is that we speak about melanin is basically a symptom or an effect. But what people miss is the fact that melanin is beyond all of the things that it represents. It is at its core an intelligence. It is the intelligence of the hydrogen molecule as it expresses itself in consciousness. And where I am as a metaphysician is that I don't look at the veneer of reality, because that is the illusion. What I do is to say that if everything has an effect, there is a cause. And the only cause that would be able to duplicate itself, and the brother did a beautiful thing when he was talking about the connection between spawn and all the rest of it and dealing with black and so forth. When you're dealing with something that only shows itself as you begin to use your mind, and it begins to shift and do things as necessary, as mind in its microcosmic form, in the form of human beings, as mind is doing things, it is necessary for the conductivity of divine energies. So, when you're talking about melanin, brothers and sisters, melanin is beyond all of the effects that you now give to it, because it can be anything that the mind conceives. And the beauty of melanin, as seeing it as an intelligence, is to understand that it can become anything necessary for the development of human consciousness.
Wow. Listen, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to go even deeper. The melanin issue. God's sunscreen. We'll be back at 2.2. So what?
Your research that you think that America may have had some European visitors sort of before 1492. It sort of dates back earlier than that. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, this is work that uses a very, very good indicator of ancestry, which is a piece of DNA inherited down the maternal line. Now, when Native American ancestry was worked on, I have to say, usually without permission from the people involved, which was scandalous, but when that was looked at, there were four groups of people, four groups of ancestors that made up the majority of Native Americans. However, in recent years, a fifth group has been identified, particularly in tribes that live close to the Great Lakes, the Ojibwa tribe in particular. And the matches with the four main groups of Native Americans are from Siberia and Eastern Asia. But in the Great Lakes, this particular cluster of DNA comes not from Asia, there's no trace of it there, but from Europe. So I think around about the same time, something about 10,000 years ago, there was a small group of people that came from Europe, directly over the Atlantic, which was partly frozen then, so could have got round at the edge of the ice. And I think that's the most likely explanation for what we see in a small proportion of Native Americans.
This African, being born in this area, goes in the caves and puts on clothes because it's cold, just like we do right now. When it's summertime, in about 3 months, we're going to be out here and we're going to have tank top and shorts and everything else. Right now, we got all this on. The African finds himself in this cold region. It's extremely cold. In your skin, in your epidermis, you have 5 layers. You have what's called the stratum corneum, the stratum luciderm, the stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, and the stratum basale. In the bottom 2 layers, the basale and the spinosum, you have a biochemical known as 7-dehydrocholesterol. It sits in that epidermis, those parts of your epidermis. When the sun hits your skin, the light and heat energy is absorbed by this dark matter. It converts inactive D1, D2 into active D3. That is what is then shot throughout the entire organic body, and that's what begins to absorb calcium to bring the necessary things into existence for this human body to live. This dark complexion in the warm sunlight is natural suntan lotion. But in the cold, it stops the sunlight from getting in. So this human organism, black of skin, dark brown of skin, begins to depigment itself. Dr. Richard King says it takes 16 generations for a black person to become pale.
Wow, 16 generations.
You know why this is important? Because so much of our self-worth and self-esteem is tied to our skin. When did that happen? When did the self-worth and self-esteem levels drop in association to our skin color? When did that happen?
After the boat ride.
When was racism created?
After the boat ride.
When did the white man become the end-all, the be-all in beauty?
One more time, Jeff.
After the boat ride. Shout out to our engineer who is white. Dude, you don't never get no good news at work, huh? Monday sucks for you. Man, you get reminded of how shitty your ancestors were. He goes, here we go. Whitey ain't shit day. It's Monday.
That's not every show.
It passes very quickly.
You're like, I know you hate Mondays. You're like, God damn, I hate Monday. Gotta get in here with these educated damn Negroes. They ain't like none of the dudes the white people around me talk about. Go back to your country, white power.
Well, I'm going to say racism
Go ahead, Kev.
started even way before that. You know, if we're the first people on the planet, melanated people, what the guy was saying about how they hold a research conference every 3 years, this book right here, this is called the Great Melanin Book of Research, and this is the book or the research of the conference that they do every 3 years, and I made it into a book. And so in there it talks about how the lack of melanin is a genetic mutation. So if you go back to that, back to Africa, you had to have some of those genetic mutations in Africa. And so some of us migrated out of Africa because of exploration, but also some had to migrate because they were born with lack of melanin, and that sun on their ass was a little bit hot. So they had to bounce up out of Africa, move to the cooler climates. Then they grew longer hair because your central nervous system is where, and on the back of your neck is where everything is where all your signals come from. So if it's cool, that actually can shut down your central nervous system. So the hair grew along the neck to keep it warm, so that the signals can move along the neck. So you know, if we were mutating, if we had mutations back in Africa, just think about in the book they also say that mutations happen all the time in nature, but the reason that you don't see them all the time is because nature will cancel it out. So you will get, like, if you get an albino lion, most of the other lions will kill it, and so it doesn't have a chance to constantly just keep on growing. So, but for us,
get your defective ass out of here.
Right, but as humans, we're not. If one of us is born, with a genetic defect, we're not just going to kill it. So, but the ridicule
special.
Yeah, but yeah, really.
Make ride the short bus.
But you had to figure some ridicule had to come because of that, because they're still doing that today. There's albinos born in Africa today that literally get dogged. They get downed and talked about constantly. So they out there.
Or some African tribes see them as magic and be cutting off limbs.
Yep.
This is a real problem in Africa right now.
I'm going to bet on the horses this weekend. I need a pinky finger from an albino.
So,
for luck. You're going to bring me some luck. Where is that albino motherfucker? Where is he? Bring him to me. I need a pinky toe.
My lucky white pinky.
Listen, man. let's bring Dr. Phil in, because I think it's important that we really get down to the nitty gritty of it. I'm gonna ask a tough question, and I want to start with Dr. Phil Valentine here. Let me ask this question: does melanin make black people gods? And those who lack it, are they the polar opposite of God?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Does Superman still remain Superman when he's sitting around kryptonite?
Ooh. Wow. Bam!
Yeah, we already have the suit. We done lost the mind because we've been sitting in kryptonite. We call it the wilderness of North America and the so-called United Snakes and under white supremacy. That's been our kryptonite. It has gotten to the mind. Remember, I told you that melanin is a consciousness. It is an intelligence. And when we lost our mind, and you asked me where we can find it if we lose it. Now, Brother Enki asked me, where do we go? Where does the mind go when we lose it? It stays there, but it becomes innocuous. It becomes completely invisible to us. It becomes a tangible, a phantom. We have to do what the Asarian drama has been constantly resonating to us. We have to resurrect the dead. And the dead is those things that are in us, those things that are remaining dormant within us. There are cells and there are atrophied organs within us that can activate us back into the realms of the gods. But because we have degenerated and because our bodies are no longer operating the way it used to operate within the mindset that kept us at the levels of gods, we are no longer gods. In fact, we are gods in stasis. We are gods walking around in a husk.
Wow.
That was created based upon that.
Dr. Phil, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you make your way to Los Angeles,
damn,
and you do not make your way to this show, it's going to be a problem. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to be at the goddamn airport.
Man,
like, what happened? where Dr. Phil at? No, this is real talk. This is, hey, because you first off, you're going to have a lot of people that say, yo, this is a type of racism. This is a type of black racism when we talk about the significance and the importance of melanin. Now, if this is a type of black racism, because what I know about race, it's a game,
yes,
like money is a game, like education is a game, and wherever there's a game, right, there are some rules that have to be, followed. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to race, I know you motherfuckers have took a piece of the truth, flipped it inside out, and created new rules to exist within that game. The moment you seek to find the walls and the parameters of the game to say, no, I want to play outside this, hey, outside the game is off limits, okay? You can only play inside here.
Like Enter the Dragon.
Right.
You may not leave. It is not allowed.
It is not permitted, right? So that's my thing. Like, they don't want us outside of the game. They want us to look at each other through the parameter by which they create, the filter they create, and this is how we judge each other, right? But when you get outside the game, you recognize, oh, why? You have questions now. Why are you studying melanin? That's the first question. What do you want to know about melanin? Why is melanin important to you? If we ain't shit according to the rules of the game, if you go to India, the caste system is based on color. Varna, Sanskrit word, Varna for color. The darkest people on the bottom. If you spent the whole time writing the rules to the game saying dark and black is evil and ugly and discardable, why are you over there studying it?
Black cat
outside the box of the game you told me was right.
Because there are no.
But you have to understand the cancer has to study the body once it's infected it so that it knows how to live. And what are colors? You have to understand you have to create the environment for a cancer to exist. And the cancer continues to emanate energies to change the environment so it can live.
Damn it. Bobby, you got something for me?
I'm sitting here listening to this conversation intently because race is still such a factor in our everyday lives. And at the same time, it's important that we talk about personal empowerment because it's not so much how others define us as it is how we define ourselves. And the rest of my life is devoted to correcting that phobia that somebody else is going to dictate to me what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to be thankful for. I've been back on the tennis court and the basketball court, and I done got a little darker, and it's a blessing to know that the sun is not my enemy. So I ain't got no problem with it.
Hey, we cool with it, right?
I'm about 2 shades in, man. You know what I mean?
Isn't it beautiful?
So I'm digging it, man.
I try to explain that to black folks all the time, running their asses up in CVS, looking for SPF. I told my wife that when we went to the beach. Baby, you gonna need some sunscreen. I go, no, I ain't. I don't need sunscreen for the same reason that they don't discuss the no-look pass. Okay, no. I have the unteachable. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna say that for the rant.
And I think it's important that we understand that when we were children, Mama never sent us outside with sunscreen. We just went. Listen, I'm a high yellow boy. I went outside. I'm from Chattanooga. I went outside. I came back red.
Yeah,
come on, man. I just came back red. That's it.
Come on, baby oil, and be up there greased up before you.
Right. She throw some Vaseline on you, and there you go.
There you go. The only thing I ever heard about sunscreen when I was growing up is, son, if you break that screen on the way out, I'm gonna whoop your ass. That's all I ever heard. I was outside.
A news station out here, Channel 5, they did a story on sunscreen or sun damage, and the lady who was doing it, she was this very dark skinned person. So what they did is they took all the people from the studio. One was Asian, one was Hispanic, and the other was white, and they did all sun tests on their skin under this certain light. And so when they came back, they showed all the damage that their skin actually had from the sun. And so they showed the white guy, his skin was really cracked up when they took the light to it.
Extra crispy.
So then they showed the Asian girl, she was messed up too, but less than him. Then they showed the Hispanic guy, and he was a little bit less than the Asian girl.
Braised.
So then they showed the black girl, you couldn't see nothing on her. No. Like she literally had no damage whatsoever. They was like and then the doctor said, well, we can't see anything.
But you know what's crazy?
Melanin in your skin.
But you know what's crazy? Then you get the people. Why does this matter? Why does this subject even matter? Well, let's just come back.
Because y'all made it matter.
Right. Why does this matter? This is racist.
We just hitting the ball back.
Right. But when I present this topic, it's not for other people. It's for the sickest mentality on planet Earth. Black folk here in America. That's who this topic is for, because it is the black folk here in America that, despite the evidence that is right in their face, you see, let me make this point.
Yes, sir.
You see Kim Kardashian go buy an ass when all our children are born with asses.
That's it.
You see, these people go buy lips when all our children are born with these lips. You'll see people force it. Who remembers Little Kim before the surgeries?
Oh my God,
Little Kim was bad.
Was bad, just and not a model bad, but
fine.
that badass
That's
girl around the way.
Around the way bad.
God,
right? So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was fly. Like, my goodness. So you see this in our people, and you see us striving for a standard of beauty that not only marginalizes you, but really just discards what you think is beautiful by nature. Bobby?
A recent example of this conversation is Serena Williams winning her third Grand Slam of the year. And it started a conversation about her body type.
Shout out to her friend.
Then they showed a picture of Samantha Stoser, who
looking
looked
like
the fucking Hook.
Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yeah, the one with
I must break you.
The one with the man arms.
Right.
She looked like a greyhound.
Oh my God.
And
that's hilarious.
Really, and the way that really played out economically is the girl that she owns. What's the girl that she beats regularly?
I know the one that makes more money than her.
Sharapova. More money, 10 times.
Sharapova.
Yeah,
10 times more money because they've altered the standard of beauty. Serena is what we looking for. Okay.
Serena is beautiful, man. And let me just say this about Serena, and about just being a black woman in America. Serena gets called a dude. Now, I stood next to Serena, and she was big than a motherfucker. But she was big in a sexy way. Like, I was looking
In
at her
all the
like,
right
I
places.
will climb.
See, there you go. There you go. I gotta say it.
Mount
I gotta say
Ass.
it. I gotta say it.
Serena, goddammit.
Mount Vasius. I gotta say it. I gotta say it. There is no man that I know of that uses this phrase that says that about Serena. If you have ever said this about a woman, ooh, I would tear that ass up.
And you gonna say that about Serena? You gonna say that?
If you use the phrase, man, she has an ass like a 10-year-old boy, then you don't see Serena because you can't get where you going from the back with your tool.
She has an ass like a European male servant.
Right, yes. Nice tight little ass. I love her tight little ass. You love her tight little ass because you got a half a roll of dimes in your pants. That's why. Ain't nobody ever said, boy, I tear that ass up. That's saying Serena look like a dude. Nobody.
God. Hey, man, we got to take a quick break. When we come back.
Go, Serena, go.
Oh, my God.
We'll be back in 2
All
seconds.
right.
So what morning?
Wow, this subject today. Shout out to my man, my producer, co-partner, my dude, Hiram Ramos, who is texting me.
Harambe to the sun. Oh, sorry.
You stupid. Who is texting me with just deep, deep knowledge from the Mexican side of things to let us know that this is not just a black issue, that there is a huge caste system and open colorism all over the globe. And I think that there is a huge push. There's a huge push, and it's been very, very successful to keep those of color asleep about those of color who came before them. The thing is as we move out of the age of Pisces and into the age of Aquarius, there is an awakening that will not be stopped. And it may not happen entirely in my lifetime or in the lifetime of the peoples who listen, but it will happen. Everybody can see it. It's happening. It's happening. Jesus now is truly being crucified.
Wow.
The concepts of the old concepts are dying. This show, stuff like this, is coming around, and I encourage our white fans and our white listeners to understand that we don't have nothing against you. There's nothing against you, because the people who are responsible for doing this don't like your ass neither. Okay? Racism does not work without duping lesser intelligent white people into believing that they are better than any black people that they know. It doesn't work without that. So if you wear plaid, if you drive a pickup truck, if you can't hire and fire a small town, then we're not talking about you. We're not talking. There's a plan to rid the earth of 2/3 of its population. 2/3 of the earth's population is not black. That means your ass too. So for those of you down in South Carolina carrying rebel flags and antagonizing black people, they coming for your ass too. You don't realize it, but they are. Melanin is the no-look pass. Melanin is Grover Washington's saxophone solo. Melanin is why you can't figure out why Whitney Houston, God bless the dead, could sing like that. Melanin is why there's a sound that comes out of a big black woman that you can't get nowhere else. It is what it is. It is what it is. Tune in and let it be what it be. I'm Geoff Brown.
Damn, that's heavy, Jeff. Man, that's heavy. This is why I wrote this here book. See, I'm a fallen angel in the relationship world. I got kicked out of relationship heaven. But that don't mean I can't give you valuable information about it, right? About relationship itself.
That probably means your relationship. Yes, if I may.
Yeah.
For those of you Bible bumpers who watch,
Here we
you
go.
do understand the difference between you and Satan. Satan is mentioned by name in the Bible. You are not. There's you stop with the fallen angel shit. I really wish we had time so that Dr. Phil could break down Lucifer, because one time I was watching YouTube and he did the Lucifer thing, and man, I am glad I was not high right then, because I don't know where I
But
would
we
be
can
at.
still do that because first off, he's got a few minutes and then he's got to go.
Oh, okay. Well, can
So
you
we're
break
going to do
down?
that anyway. But what people don't understand is religion is really responsible in a lot of ways for the dark is evil. You know, the curse of Ham. Ham's children were black. The word Hebrew Ham is Cam, Kemet, black. It's all black is evil. Can you speak to that, Dr. Phil, before you bounce?
And then bust out the Lucifer thing too.
Did he leave?
Is he there?
Is he there?
Is he mad at us?
No, he not mad. He there. Come on. Well, this is what we'll do. We'll go to Veronica, and then we'll try to get him back. Veronica.
Hey, Ronnie Khan.
I know you've been listening to this whole situation. Can you speak to this colorism and all of this bullshit that we go through as a people? And a lot of it now is on cruise control. It's not like there's some white folk out there putting out new books on for niggas, and niggas are buying it and then implementing those rules. Can you speak to that for us?
Well, if you want to get into like a deeper version of the law of attraction as it relates to melanin, there are some theories that say that, you know, because melanin is a conductor of energy, right? And so one of the things that Nechama, for example, when he's worked with, you know, a lot of women, he's understood firsthand that that black skin, it always responds differently to energy work than white skin, right? Because the skin tends to absorb more, the melanin tends to absorb more of the energy. So if we can say that black skin is a conductor of energy, and that and if we believe that what we hold in our subconscious mind is what becomes a projection into the holographic reality, then in a sense, if you begin to see the black consciousness with a negative view of itself, if you begin to see it with images of its own destruction, we project that reality, we project that consciousness, that picture onto the holographic reality. So some would say that white folks have hijacked our minds to be able to have us to project the reality out there because they don't have enough melanin to do it themselves.
What? You got to say more. Kevin, are you following this?
What?
You got to say more. Say more, please.
Right. So in other words, so again, if you believe that the universe is a holographic reality where thoughts are things and we project our consciousness into reality, but if you hijack the black man's consciousness and see it as a negative image, it's going to project the reality because because black skin, melanation, as Dr. Phil was saying, it's a natural conductor of energy. So if we are the reality creators, and if you're going to feed anything into our consciousness that's negative, we're going to create that reality.
Wow. This is crazy, man. Speak on it.
So just, you know, coming from the book on research, and I want to go back to what you were saying about Caucasian people. I know you don't want me to read out this book, but I got to read this part real quick.
That shit better be quick as hell.
Hey, shut up.
Quick as hell, Nick.
So check this out. This is, and they talk in code in here, and they'll leave black men out of it because if somebody came in here and read this, they didn't want them to figure out what they were talking about. But so it says, in men with red hair, the skin is no longer protected from solar radiation, in that it is not able to synthesize melanin, and it is presumable, also taking into account the genetic pressure of other races, much more populous and having melanocytes, that pheomelanins, which are in Caucasian people, will no longer be present in man in the distant future, meaning that they will be dying out. and then check this part out. And then it says another distinction between melanated man and animals may thus be in the field of the biochromes, and melanated man can be placed at the apex of the pyramid. And on the very next page, they have a pyramid of, if you can see this. Oh, you can't. Can I see this right here?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, pull back some. There you go.
There you go.
There you go, boy. Pull back some,
Pull
boy.
it back.
There you go, man.
Damn.
Nigga, arm weak as hell. Come on, dark skin.
So pyramid. So at the very top of this pyramid, it has the dot, the circle with the dot in it is melanin, and that's this melanated man at the very top of the pyramid by himself. And this is what they're saying, that eventually Caucasians that skin tone will die out because melanin is the much more dominant.
And you know what's so fucking crazy? Now I'm bugging out right now because you know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
You got ethnic cleansing going on in the Dominican Republic, in Haiti. What? You know, the ethnic cleansing of Haitians.
Right.
By other melaninated people.
Right.
What?
Yep.
Only because we've accepted an idea that beige is better than chocolate.
Beige.
I'm beige. I'm way better than thee.
I'm beige, damn it. Why am I waiting in this line behind darker Negroes?
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Dr. Phil, I need you to jump in here, man, because I know you got to leave shortly.
Do the Lucifer thing. Do the Lucifer thing.
But I was talking. Did we lose him again? We lost him again. All right. So Dr. Phil is lost for now, but we'll pull him back. But we have enough knowledge here to speak on it. What is religion's role in black man's self-hate? Religion has a major role in it. Did it start with Rodrigo Borgia asking his son Cesare to pose as Jesus for the picture? Asking his daughter...
Cesare! Cesare! You want to be Jesus? Cesare, get in here! The painting dude is here. Cesare! Look here, Cesare, you're going to be in churches all over. Cesare!
You about to blow up, Cesare! You gonna be Jesus from here on out, nigga. I'm the Pope.
Are you serious? I'll be Jesus from here out.
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying. He made his daughter, Lucrezia, Mary. Did it start there?
Lucretia!
Where did it start, Kev?
And where the
religion's role.
Religion's role.
Religion's responsibility in denigrating, even the word denigrate.
Well, you understand, most of...
Yes, it's in that word. Go ahead.
Most of the religion, they were getting their information from the Moors. So if what they were studying under the Moors, they were learning all this information about energy and what the energy can do in the body and things of that nature. But they also had to understand that melanin, because if you go back to the Egyptians or the Kemetans, this is how they were manipulating a lot of things in Egypt. Because your melanin is produced by an enzyme called tyrosinase. And tyrosinase has copper in it. And Caucasian people don't produce this enzyme, which is why they don't have any melanin.
I have to stop you. Any black women listening to this show, please do not name your future children tyrosinase. Go ahead.
But yeah, tyrosinase, being that it has copper, this is what makes it conductive. This is one of the things that makes it conductive. And they found that when you run a certain amount of electricity, and it's very little electricity over the melanin, it goes into what's called the on stage. And energy can just flow through the melanin without harming the cell. And the Kemetans or the Egyptians understood this. This is why when you see a lot of the pictographs or the glyphs in Egypt, they're carrying with their staff, but the staff is actually what's called a diapole. It has a positive end and a negative end, and they would use that to ground themselves to the Earth's magnetic field, and then they were able to use the Earth's magnetic field or energy flowing through their skin because of the copper.
A grounder.
Yes.
A lot of people don't even. You can go to fucking Amazon.com right now and buy a little fucking
Yes.
like what's that neoprene, and it's got a little plug in it, and you plug it into your wall, and it'll ground to the beneath your house. It'll ground, and you can take your shoes off and put your feet on it, and it'll ground you. A lot of people. We had us. Boy,
And
shit.
and
We
this-
got to take a break, though. You hear that music?
No, I don't.
He don't be listening to the music.
No, I don't.
God damn. This show is crazy right now. Why am I doing this show? I'm going to get to it in a second. Watch this final thought up against your neck. Watch. We about to take a quick break. We'll be back.
Lightly pigmented skin evolved not just once, not just twice, but probably 3 times, not just in modern humans, but in one of our distant, unrelated ancestors, the Neanderthals. A remarkable, remarkable testament to the power of evolution. Humans have been on the move for a long time, and just in the last 5,000 years, at increasing rates over increasing distances, here are just some of the biggest movements of people, voluntary movements in the last 5,000 years. Look at some of the major latitudinal transgressions. People from high UV areas going to low UV and vice versa. And not all these moves were voluntary. Between 1520 and 1867, 12,500,000 people were moved from high UV to low UV areas in the transatlantic slave trade. Now, this had all sorts of invidious social consequences, but it also had deleterious health consequences to people.
Now, the body is a living matrix, and you really want to get this because this is kind of part of the operating system of your body, you know. And I know that as we're talking about it, you really have to strain a little bit to stay with me, but I think it'll make some sense here. The body is actually a communication system where everything is connected to everything else, and it works through light. It works through light. It's called biophotons. And in this communication system, cells have connections to other cells called integrins, and electrons and light flows between cells. So it's like a supercomputer. Your body is like a supercomputer, and the skin is connected to every other part of the body. Kind of like a spider web, where everything, when you tug on one part of the spider web, it connects to everything else. And so these cells connect to the connective tissue, which the skin is part of, and it all works like semiconductors. Now, semiconductors, like computer chips, are made out of silicon. These are living semiconductors. Your body is made out of this complex supercomputer that figures everything out, and this is what energy medicine is all about. And when you put chemicals or drugs or lotions or pesticides or mercury from dental fillings that are leaking into your body, then this matrix gets upset. This matrix does not function. The energy doesn't.
Wow. Man, like, it really bothers me because this information is out there.
Yeah.
There's no excuse today.
Nope.
Right? You remember back in the day, I remember somebody showed me some information from like the 20s or maybe even before the 20s, maybe the 10s or the late 1800s. They showed, I think it was 3rd or 8th grade curriculum, and what them motherfuckers was learning and studying then would be equivalent to a fucking freshman in college now. Mm-hmm. They were smarter then. They worked harder then. Mm-hmm. There was a deeper connection and understanding of their environment, who they are, and what they were about then, right? We knew what was up. We were smarter. Today, when technology has sped up life,
yes,
but slowed down understanding. Like, there's a lack of interface. There's a lack of understanding. People don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to talk. They're texting. The memory ain't the same. The capacity is still there.
Right.
But the access to it isn't. Right? Shit is just breaking down all around. And the thing that makes us extraordinary every day appears to be being lost. How do we regain this? Like, There's kids who won't even fucking listen to this show.
Well, there's
Isn't that bullshit?
well, there's a major reason that in their research, what they found, that melanin is a semiconductor and a superconductor, and the difference between the two is a semiconductor, when it's conducting between 2 points, if it loses energy between the 2 points, going whatever the medium is that transfers the energy, if it loses energy, it's a semiconductor. If the energy is lossless for between 2 points, then it's a superconductor. And so, just case in point. So if me and Zoe, we're on the same vibration, and we come up with an idea, and I say something, but he finishes my sentence before I even say it. We're superconducting. This is, we're on the same vibration. To get a superconductor, both points have to resonate at the same vibration. I mean, they have to be on the same plane. So, but if me and Geoff, we kind of resonate on the same plane, and I'm trying to explain something to him, but he gets it, but not quite gets it. Then we're semiconducting. He gets it a little bit, but not a lot. So what they found though in here, for your melanin to be powerful, it has to.
What you just said?
It's a joke. Just keep going. Keep going, Kevin. Don't let him fuck with you.
Keep going. Don't let me fuck.
So, for your melanin to be powerful, it has to be hydrated. And so this is why you see liquor store, fried chicken. This is where you see all this toxifying of the
Come on down to Church's melanin blockers.
Because when you're not hydrated, your melanin doesn't turn on, and they understand it, or it's on at a very low state. It definitely has to be hydrated for you to receive the maximum amount of energy.
So now this flows into nutrition, obesity in the black community.
All that.
Everything is set up to keep you a servant.
You putting perm right over your pineal gland.
Do you know how masterful white supremacy is? It is the servitude. It is the actual practice and functioning of making God a servant.
But you think about, look, melanin, dude, is even on another. It's antimicrobial. It's an antioxidant. It's antiviral. So it's very hard to kill you. So they had to put all this toxification in the hood to be able to break you down. And even still, you got melanated people still living super long. I mean, smoking Newports and crack and all this shit all the damn time, but still living to be fucking 90 something and 100. So they understood how powerful you are, and they really had to toxify you in order to be able to break you down. And that's still it's not working all the way yet.
I don't remember our sound engineer's name. I know that's correct.
His name is Jake.
Jake
the Snake.
Jake from State Farm.
Robert.
He looked kind of like Benny Hill stunt double. You look kind of like Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
You need to understand. For the very reason that you have on plaid today. The when we say they, the people we talking about don't wear plaid. We talking about the cultural elite. We're not talking about because the people need to know, and I understand why this is the same shit that makes regular white people defensive, because they think that we talking about them when we say who did this shit.
No, it's amazing, because this goes back to the all of my shows, they interlock. This goes back to Tim Wise. Again,
shout out to Tim Wise.
We're going to create racism as an ideological construct.
Right.
We're going to keep y'all two going here while we're doing all types of shit that affect both of you.
Right.
Equally and the same. If it's a bad deal for one of you, it's going to be a bad deal for both of you. You don't know it, though, because we told you were white. That don't mean you're in the same class as we are.
No.
But you're white, though. That's what we got in common. You're white.
Right. That's like cops. Dear cops who like the show, do you understand that you have been put in a position to handle the commoners? That's it. That's it. You basically take out you are the dog of this system. You are the guard dog of this system. That is it. And please stop elevating yourself above that. Yes.
And I'm gonna be honest. I loathe authority. I loathe it.
Yes. As do I.
I loathe authority. There is an inner rebel in me that goes, no.
Yep.
Fuck you. No, I'm not doing what you're doing. I would have been one of the slaves that died.
Yep.
I would have got tarred and feathered and burnt the fuck up because I would have been doing all types of shit trying to get away. I would have been killing bitches. I would have been wilding. That's just if I had the same mentality as I have right now during slavery.
Dragon more.
I would have been killing people. I would have been
come on, bro.
Lestat Turner.
Yeah.
I would have been out there doing it. But the point that I'm trying to say is the definition of success, the definition of making it has to be thrown away if black people are going to rediscover just how dope it is to be the first human being, to be the descendants. Let's just go back. Amun, hidden, the black sun, the darkness of it all. Before light was created, God was sitting in the darkness. He was sitting in the melanin and said, let there be light. He said that meant dark existed before the light. Do you understand what I'm saying? There was a power in blackness before it was labeled as evil.
Yes.
Right? You take evil, flip it back around. It's live. It's live. We're not alive anymore because we've said, you know what? This shit happened to us. This is why when we sit down and we talk to people about the N-word, the only place they can go historically is our slavery. They can't go up beyond. They can't go before it, right? Whereas we had all of these cultures and we were this and the word meant this. They stuck. Well, we can never say it again. You know why you can never say it again? Because the white man said it was the worst word ever. You follow the white man's historical narrative. That's why you stuck right there. You can't go back and go, well, I remember when the word meant God. Or in the Kush Indus Valley of India, it was the Nagas.
Right.
Or in Ethiopia, it was Negus. I can't. When you go there and go, fuck y'all. Fuck your definition, Whitey. Whitey, fuck you, your dictionary, your education, fuck your institutions of learning. Why are you scared to do it? Because he's going to stop giving you opportunities to make debt receipts.
That's right. Debt tickets.
That's what makes you go, I agree with you, brother, but I ain't fucking with you. Brother, you on to something.
You sound good.
But I ain't fucking with you.
I ain't letting nobody know I fuck with you either. I listen to the So What Morning Show, but I'll keep that shit on my phone.
Do you know brown colored food stamps mean more to our people than the information revealed on this show? Tell me I'm lying.
They're asleep, man. I mean, that's what the show is for.
Bobby?
To wake people up.
Well, it's an old record now, but you can't lead people if you can't feed people. And the focus has got to be on putting ourselves in positions where we generate an economy that gives people an alternative to the old line of thinking. And like you just mentioned, there's a lot of people out there that feel what we're saying, but we cannot affect their day-to-day, and that has to be where we shift our focus to controlling our economy, because then you can get people's attention when you can put something in front of them that they can relate to, like some big head hunters.
Man, we gotta take a quick break. I ain't scared of none of y'all. I'm gonna keep banging you upside the head with this information that all of y'all scared of. We'll be back. Zo What Mornings.
Let's first look at the relationship of ultraviolet radiation to the Earth's surface. In those early days of our evolution, living at the equator, we were bombarded by high levels of ultraviolet radiation. The UVC, the most energetic type, was occluded by the Earth's atmosphere, but UVB and UVA especially came in unimpeded. UVB turns out to be incredibly important. It's very destructive, but it also catalyzes the production of vitamin D in the skin. Vitamin D being a molecule that we very much need for our strong bones, the health of our immune system, and myriad other important functions in our bodies. So living at the equator, we got lots and lots of ultraviolet radiation, and the melanin, this wonderful, complex, ancient polymer compound in our skin, served as a superb natural sunscreen. This polymer is amazing because it's present in so many different organisms. Melanin in various forms has probably been on the earth 1 billion years and has been recruited over and over again by evolution, as often happens. Why change it if it works? So melanin was recruited in our lineage, and specifically in our earliest ancestors evolving in Africa, to be a natural sunscreen, where it protected the body against the depredations of ultraviolet radiation, the destruction or damage to DNA, and the breakdown of a very important molecule called folate, which helps to fuel cell production and reproduction in the body. So it's wonderful. We evolved this very protective, wonderful covering of melanin, but then we move.
These are the monsoons, the winds in July, okay? And it's showing you the winds that's blowing all through here, okay? And so these Africans was coming over here a long time ago, family. We talking about the white, we talking about 10,000 years before the white man even showed up. We was always, so this was Kush. So when you hear Nagar, which this is not the land, but I'm going to show you where it's all throughout the culture, the Twa. And that's where the Twa stay at. The little short, which y'all call, what the Western world call pygmies. This is where they stay, most of them stay at right now today, the rainforest. They was the first one that gathered the medicine. They was there for hundreds of millions of years. This is where they was. And these were the little Twa and the San people. You know, they call them Bushmen. They got that real short, tight, curly hair, and they got slant eyes. And they were the first two types that went out all over the world. The Chinese with the slant eye, they come out of the Bushmen, okay? And so the woolly head types was all through this era.
Take a while. So melanin has a high antitoxic potential and helps enzymatic processes. It's a non-specific protective agent. It helps against mutation. It's capable of interacting with other chemicals called xenobiotics that cause oxidation, like heavy metals and other things. The body gets rid of them. It's one of the biggest things. And it has a photo and radio protect.
You see all the shit melanin does?
More than that.
You see, listen, we put all these videos together, right? Me, Kev, Chris, we pick all the videos, we chop them up, we try to get the most salient points, right? For melanin. Mm-hmm. It does all this, and you still hate yourself? Like, what the fuck? It's like, I hate being a superhero. Yep. What? That just doesn't resonate with me. And it lets me know, right, how much of a hoe we've become. Yeah, at some point you gotta say, I know enough about what the fuck happened that I gotta start renouncing what I believe to be right for me in this environment. At some point, you gotta be able to say that. Bobby?
Well, it's imperative that we reconnect the village in this sense. From a generational perspective, it's just absolutely necessary that young people spend more time, and we have to compel them to spend more time at the feet of the elders. Because, for example, if LeBron would come out and announce that the reason I'm LeBron is I'm melanoid, then it would shift.
Right.
Absolutely.
The paradigm. Right.
Well, he'd automatically be ostracized. Yes. There go his biosurvival ticket.
He can lose his coupon.
But go ahead, Bobby.
No, you can't make that assumption, because you once again giving away too much power. White people are not omnipotent. They're not all of that. And if LeBron made that move, he has leveraged himself to the point now where they need him as much as he needs them. So give it a shot at least. Let's try that before we rebuke.
Let's let it fail.
Yeah,
right.
Let's let it fail.
Yeah. But I don't think it's gonna fail. I really don't.
Kev, and then Veronica.
So another thing in this book, that these scientists research, they talk about black matter or dark matter in the sky. Basically, what you see at night or in space is dark matter, dark particles that fill the sky. And so, in their research, they I mentioned this before. They have a picture of a black or melanated scientist next to space, and they're saying that the melanin in his skin is the same as space. If I can get that.
They ain't gonna be able to see that little ass print. What's the name of the book?
Well,
where can they get this book?
The website is, it's not a book. I made it myself. It's only one of these, and it's on the table. But you can go to the website, and that's www.tightrope.it/Nicolaus, that's NICOLAUS/index.htm. And you can find all of this research. And so,
where is my brother Niklaus? No, go ahead.
But yeah, so your melanin is everywhere. They even classify salt as being melanin, which is why the salt that you eat, they had to corrupt it. It's white. It's sodium chloride. They washed all the minerals off the salt, and that's also to help corrupt your melanin.
Wow.
So what you need to be eating is pink salt or Himalayan salt or sea salt. These will actually feed your melanin and the conductivity of your melanin. And also what Bobby got over here is the Kangen water, the alkaline water. You need that as well to bring up your pH to bring up your conductivity in your body.
Wow. Kangen salt would be dope.
Yep.
Shit. Throw a couple of... Hey, shit. Okay. Veronica, finish it before I get to this final thought.
I want to piggyback a bit on what we can do, but that can be practical. One of the issues that we face is kind of pineal calcification, where that pineal gland, which produces melanin, is calcified. They say in Europeans it's 60 to 80% calcified, and in black folks it's only 5 to 15% calcified. So part of what the challenge of Europeans is that they have this deep pineal calcification. But if we want to decalcify our own pineal gland, we can also go and get, if you Google blue ice fermented skate liver oil, blue ice fermented skate liver oil, that decalcifies the pineal gland. And what it does is it restores your ability to see spiritually, to see deeper than what the propaganda that you're being fed. That's one of the functions of decalcifying the pineal gland.
God damn.
As is meditation.
Whew. This is very powerful shit. Today's show, man. God's sunscreen? God's sunscreen is today's topic. Got melanin? I bet you don't. Hey, listen. I want you guys to go to the homeboy Tony B. Conscious' website, consciousint.net, I think it is. It's either .net or .com. consciousint.net or .com. He's got a Got Melanin t-shirt. Go buy it. We're going to go right to the final thought right now. Yep. Rounding up another topic. In the immortal words of Powder, how long do you think I'm going to allow you to keep me here? Remember that movie Powder? How long do you think I'm going to let you keep me here? Man, we can't keep doing shows. I just got to be honest. It's not going to happen forever. You know how niggas do? Man, you should still be doing that show, nigga, because it was deep, nigga. I'm not that kind of dude.
You want my old music? Buy my old
album. You feel me? You remember the bookstore I had in Altadena? Mm-hmm. What did I do with that motherfucker?
Peace out.
We had a whole big movement going, right? Books, clothes, ATM machines.
Flashing time.
Told niggas, let's go. Get up out of here. I'm not gonna be your guru. I'm not gonna be the reverend. I'm not gonna be none of that shit. Either we do this shit together and we stay consistent and we build, or I just stop doing it. Niggas thought fat meat wasn't greasy. And then they came up there one day and the motherfucking door was closed and somebody else was in there. What happened? Yeah, I told you.
This a goddamn T-Mobile now. What the hell?
Right. I'm not going to do this shit no more. And this is how I really feel. I'm not an entertainer.
Yes, you are.
No. I'm not. I'm not an entertainer.
Just because you're entertaining.
Just because I'm entertaining doesn't mean I'm an entertainer.
Big difference.
Right? And I'm really about my folk. And if my folk are not going to do some shit on a collective level, then I got to be about my smaller circle of folk.
Right on.
Which is my kids or, the extended family. But if I'm extending family love to the community, then we got to work as a family, as a team, as a unit. I'm doing these shows because I know the real slavery is the content of your consciousness. That's where the real slavery is. Whoever controls what you believe controls your reality-making machine. So as long as I got you Cesare Borgering, as long as I got you staring at Uncle Ned, Ned the Wino on the wall, and I'm saying that ain't Jesus, the white Jesus is Jesus.
Or the black Jesus.
Either, as long as I got you in a particular ideological thought paradigm, I have control over you if you didn't write the paradigm.
That's right.
Bobby says it all the time. Control the narrative. Control the narrative. Everybody's saying it now. Narrative, right? Okay, motherfucker, write one.
Narrate.
I wrote one. I sat down and I wrote this shit. Right? I wrote it. Where's your narrative? How can I learn from your narrative? How can you learn from mine? How can we then begin to, merge the two together and build a new narrative?
That's right.
I hate motherfuckers running around going, I'm successful. According to who? According to what system? You successful, but you don't know what the fuck is going on in Greece?
If Bill Gates woke up with Oprah's money, he'd kill himself. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I defer my liege.
Every ideology that's being that is being forced upon a people is a religion. Every single one. It doesn't matter if it's education, doesn't matter if it's financial, doesn't matter. Social, if you didn't write it, it's a religion. And wherever there's a religion, there's a prison. I don't give a fuck what religion it is, Christians who think I'm just picking on Christians. All that shit. If I join Buddhism and I got to put on a robe, I'm in jail. I got to shave my head and put dots and shit on my I'm in jail.
That's right.
Because I don't understand it. That's why one of the sayings is Buddha said, if you see Buddha walking down the street, you kill him. Because that ain't me. If you see Buddha walking down the street and you don't see Buddha out the eyes you looking through, kill that motherfucker. You seeing an image, nigga. They're claiming your ass and your baby hair. Damn. Right? But you're claiming their standard of success. Until you recognize that you are the physical embodiment of God, that's how he set it up, then you ain't shit. I'm Zoe Williams, and that's my final thought. I got to go. We appreciate everybody for chiming in, but our clock is at an end. Let me just say this, Bobby G. Yeah. Where can they find you?
They can find me at www.realmendon'tplay.com. And on August 8th, I'm going to be in Blytheville, Arkansas, at that bookstore, spreading a little gospel about real men that don't play.
There you go.
And one more thing. I'm back on the track, and Zoe Williams has got to come and meet me center court. We going in the paint.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
We going in the paint.
Kevin.
Yeah, you guys can reach me at Real Nagas. That's YouTube, the Real Nagas channel. These videos that we show are all on there. Just go ahead and research. That's REELNAGAS. That's on the YouTube channel. or the Booty Boxing home system. That's Udemy, udemy.com/bootyboxing, and the promo code is ZoWhatShow. But also these when we were talking about the Melanin books, if that's a little too hard for you guys can also get the Ankh, African Origin of Electromagnetism, or you can get Melanin, A Key to Freedom by Dr. Richard King, and these explains this in a little more simpler terms.
Shout out to D.L. Hughley, the radio show, the special, the Black and Brown Comedy Get Down that I am writing for. Look for, coming very soon, YouTube channel, Geoff Brown. Dig that.
Dig that. Listen, please, Amazon.com. Get your Kindle, Amazon.com, get a Kindle version of it, right? We'd appreciate all the support we can get, and you can pre-order your copy now from IamZoeWilliams.com. Pre-order your copy right now. The physical copies will be in hand on the 24th of this month. I'll be mailing out as early as the 25th. I appreciate everybody for their support. That's what we do. So what? We'll be back.
Peace.
Peace.